Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be getting into a new sport, rugby. I've been looking forward to this one because when I first started this channel, I was saying that American football is like American version of rugby. You guys wanted to kill me, like, don't dare say that, don't dare say that, don't compare. So I got the message. So now I'm going to try to see what the difference is between these two games, because I always felt it was the same thing before I started this channel. And as is the custom on this channel, before I get into any sports, out of respect for the sports, I try to get some basic info about the sports. I think just out of respect. I just can't start watching some videos of a particular sport without even knowing like the basic stuff. That seems disrespectful and rude to me, to the fans of this sport. So that's what I always try to do. Before I get into it, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you have not done already, and also if you love this reaction, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Now let's get into it.
The rules of Rugby Union. The object of the game is for your team to score more points than the opposing team. The game is played with two teams of 15, playing on a field that's 100 metres long between the goal lines. In Rugby Union, you may run forwards with the ball, and you may kick the ball forwards. But what's interesting about Rugby Union is that you can only pass the ball backwards or sideways. You cannot pass the ball forwards, and doing so will result in your opponent being awarded possession.
I didn't get that point. Wait, I don't understand.
It's 100 metres long between the goal lines. In Rugby Union, you may run forwards with the ball, and you may kick the ball forwards. But what's interesting about Rugby Union is that you can only pass the ball backwards or sideways.
Wow.
You cannot pass the ball forwards, and doing so will result in your opponent being awarded possession. The idea is to score points, and there are several ways to do this. Number 1, a try. You can run with the ball into your opponent's in-goal area and place the ball down onto the ground. This is a try and is worth 5 points. Unlike in American football, the player must press the ball on the ground with downward pressure.
Okay.
No downward pressure equals no try.
No points. Okay.
Number 2, a conversion. After scoring a try, you are awarded a conversion kick to add more points. The kick is made from a spot 20 metres from the goal line and perpendicular to the spot where the try was scored. Kicking the ball between the posts and over the crossbar scores 2 points. Number 3, a penalty. If your opponent commits a foul, you may choose to kick the ball from the ground between the goalposts. This scores 3 points. Number 4, a drop goal. You can also kick the ball between the posts at any time during open play. To do this, you must drop the ball onto the ground first before kicking it. This also scores 3 points. To stop you from scoring, your opponents will try and stop you by tackling. Your opponent can grab you below the shoulders and pull you to the floor to stop you moving forwards. In Rugby Union, once a player is tackled, the ball carrier must let go of the ball. This usually results in players pushing each other away on the ground whilst the teammate tries to get possession of the ball. Players from either team can get possession at this point. This is known as a ruck and is an important part of the game. To the untrained eye, it looks like a bunch of men rolling around on the floor, but in reality, they're trying to push the opponents away so that they can get the ball. The maul is the other important part of the game.
Guys, that is quite funny. Seriously, that is so, that's ridiculous. Like, it makes no sense. Well, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Like, just looking at it like this right now, it just makes no sense to me. Like, they'll struggle with the ball while the person that was holding the ball is on the ground. Then others will come. So now they're trying to find a way to shift the ball from under him, and so that another person can get. Like, I don't get that point. I really do not get it. Well, anyway, let's continue.
It's essentially a ruck while standing up. Players will usually push opposing players backwards in order to gain better field position. Unlike in American football or rugby league, there are no set limits for possession. If a team can keep the ball for the entire game, they generally will. The game is played in two 40-minute halves for a combined playing time of 80 minutes. The team with the highest score after 80 minutes wins. That's basically the gist of it, but there's a few other rules you'll need to understand before playing or going to a game. For example, knock-on. Any player deflecting the ball forwards with their arms or body is committing a knock-on. Remember, you're not allowed to pass the ball forwards, so you're not allowed to deflect it forwards either, unless it's a kick. Committing a knock-on will result in the other team being awarded a scrum. Scrum. This is a method of restarting play, usually after a forward pass or a knock-on. The forwards of both teams line up and push against one another.
What are all these games, man?
Them. In general, any team can win possession of the ball at this point. In touch. This is rugby terminology for out of the playing area. The outer lines of the field are touch lines, and any ball leaving the field of play is said to be in touch. Line out. This is another method of restarting play, usually when the ball has left the field in touch. Players from each team will line up 1 meter apart.
It seems there's not a lot of hits in this one compared to the American football, right? Because if there were lots of hits, why are these guys not wearing any protection? Why are they not wearing any protection if there's lots of hits in this game? I don't think that lots of hits. Guys, tell me in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, and from what I'm seeing so far, I'm not really seeing any hits. Maybe I'm just blabbing nonsense, and you guys are immediately going to like start giving me suggestions. Watch this, watch this, watch this, and you see how many hits are there. I guess so, but let's see how that goes. That'll be fun.
Whilst the ball is being thrown between them. Players are allowed to lift teammates up to try and gain possession of the ball.
Damn!
There are many other rules not discussed
I was
here,
wondering how that guy was able to reach that ball. When I first saw it, I was like, I overlooked it. I just felt maybe it was that athletic. What? They can actually lift. Oh God. This game looks like some children's play. I'm not trying to insult the game or anything. Like that, it just looks to me like that. Like some kind of children's play. Though it's played by men. I mean, like, you can actually hold your teammates to get the ball. That is quite funny. That is quite funny. Seriously. That is really, really funny. Wow. Okay. It's interesting.
To play Rugby Union, they will become very clear indeed.
Wow, guys. Like, this game is, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to insult the game. It just looks a bit like that particular play of being able to carry your teammates up to get the ball is a bit hilarious. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I can't imagine. Like I never could have ever imagined something like that in a sport. I mean, is there any other sport that has that kind of that allows that kind of stuff, like being able to carry your teammates to get? I mean, like that is ridiculous, man. Wow. Okay. This should be fun. Well, like I said, before I start reacting to any sport, I try to understand the sport to an extent. At least I was able to learn some things in this video. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.